Mic check, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Hip Hop Snapshots, your new favorite podcast. What's good? I'm your host, Ross Martinez. Today, we're going to be talking about the DMV, not the Department of Motor Vehicles, you fool. I'm leaving that flub in there because I don't care. You can accept me in all my glory, B. Look, the DMV is very important to the history of hip hop, and let me explain why. It came from basements, rec centers, backyards, and go-go shows. While other regions built hip-hop around the microphone, the DMV built it around the crowd. And that difference changes everything. So let's talk about why the DMV sounds the way it does and why it belongs as an important chapter in hip-hop. Without further ado, grab a milk crate, take a seat. It's time to talk hip-hop history. You can't understand DMV hip hop without understanding go-go music. Go-go isn't just music in DC, it's infrastructure. Live percussion, call and response, songs that stretch as long as the crowd keeps answering back. Artists like Chuck Brown didn't just pioneer a sound, they taught a city how to move together. And that is important, it matters a lot. Because when hip hop started taking roots in the DMV, it didn't replace go-go music, it borrowed its heartbeat. Rap here wasn't built to dominate the room, it was built to survive within inside of it. Early DMV hip-hop didn't chase national attention, it served the neighborhood. Figures like DC Scorpio bridged rap and go-go directly, working with bands not against them. And then there's DJ Kool, Let Me Clear My Throat. You've heard that song on radio. It's not just a hit, it was proof of concept, that call and response, that crowd control, that's go-go logic in rap form. The DMV wasn't asking, how do we sound on radio? It was saying, we belong here because we move with the crowd. For a long time, this region didn't have a name. The DMV is DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia. That's why they call it the DMV. DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia. Separate scenes, shared culture. Promoters and artists like 20 Bello and community figures like Dre All Day helped give it language. DMV wasn't branding, it was self-definition. A way of saying we exist, we're connected, stop pretending that we're fragmented. And that naming is important because scenes don't grow without identity. Here's the nuance people really miss. The DMV sits at the intersection of these big concepts: federal power, black political history, surveillance, class tension, and military influence. This is a region hyper aware of systems, the systems that surround it. So DMV rap doesn't posture much, it just reacts to the situations it's a part of. That's why flows feel very urgent, why the beat hits hard, and why there's tension in the music even when it's celebratory. The DMV doesn't rap at the system, it raps inside of it. If there's a moment that hip hop had to look at the DMV, I would say it's Wale. Wale didn't just make it out, he brought the city with him. Dig Dug Shake It wasn't a novelty record, it was go-go music translated for hip hop ears. It was live rhythm, local pride, and it wasn't diluted by any means. Wale proved something very important, that the DMV culture didn't need to be cleaned up, it just needed a space to exist in hip hop. The DMV also benefits from proximity. Virginia Beach quite literally changed modern music with producers like Pharrell Williams and Timbaland, which they didn't come from the DMV proper, but their experimentation reshaped what eccentric sounded like in the mainstream music. That influence trickled back. Suddenly, weird wasn't risky, it was profitable, it was contagious. That door mattered for the DMV. It opened up a lot of things. Look, by the 2010s, DMV hip hop didn't sound like one thing. And if you've been paying attention to these episodes, that's the point of hip hop history. Hip hop has a lot of different individuals that add to the culture, like roots in a tree. They go everywhere. But let's look at a couple artists. Goldlink blended rap with house and electronic energy. Rico Nasty brought punk, rage, and trap together. Logic built massive reach while keeping regional pride. Shy Glizzy carried the street voice. Corday bridged traditional modern lyricism. Brent Faiyaz extended DMV mood into R&B. All different sounds, all part of hip hop. Music built to be felt in person. And that's the core element of hip hop. Remember early episodes, the kickbacks, the park jams, the rec centers. It was a safe place to just experiment and have a good time with like-minded individuals. The DMV didn't dominate hip hop by sound, but it influenced it by approach. It proved that live energy still matters, especially now in the modern era. Crowd connection is vital. Regional culture doesn't need to be simplified, and you can be local and national at the same time. The DMV didn't teach hip hop how to go viral. It reminded hip hop how to move in a room. The DMV belongs in hip hop history because it never tried to replace anything. It added something. It added a reminder that hip hop isn't just recorded, it's experienced. Mic check, mic check. That's another episode of Hip Hop Snapshots. I'm your host, Ross Martinez. Look, go back in these episodes. I provide you with names, with cultural frameworks and reference points so you can dig through crates. I'm by no means a historian. I'm just a nerd that fell in love with hip hop because it's so beautiful. It's so diverse. And as different individuals come and go within hip hop, they add something. And I think that's beautiful that individuals who are just creative and looking for a safe space to figure themselves out can really change history just by speaking and writing and uniting. So as I say every time, I provide you with names. Go dig through crates. Learn something. And as you're learning, you'll understand what this means. Always be hip hop. I'm out. Peace.